All right, well, thank you all for coming. Our presentation is called 10 Ways to Tune Into Learning. We would like to start by talking to you about, we have three presenters here. Myself, my name's Nevada Greene. This is my father, Richard Greene.
Hello, everyone.
And this is my professor, John O'Kane. And from grad school.
Robert's Wesleyan College, by the way. I have to put that plug in or they won't pay for me.
Right. And he's from Fairport Central School, or Fairport Central Schools, Jefferson Avenue Elementary, specifically in Rochester area. And he's a principal, professor, and special ed teacher in Dansville, New York, which is south of Rochester. What basically our goal is today is to provide people who may not be the performer, like my dad was, performing in front of his third grade class when he was teaching with his guitar, and maybe taking people more like John, the professor, people who are in the classroom and really appreciate music but don't really know how to implement music into their classroom because they might be maybe a little bit intimidated by the whole idea of having music and of tackling that within their classroom. And so hopefully getting more to the middle of the spectrum, the practitioner, which is what I aspire to be, somebody who implements music into almost every aspect of what I teach. So we already talked a little bit about the performer and the professor and myself, trying to get us all towards the middle. So first, I'd like to provide you with our goal. Like I already stated, provide educators with tools and resources to implement music in their classroom. We'll provide 10 ways on how to do that. First, is it anybody's birthday today?
Everybody loves music. I told you it would be. Yes, your name is? Ashley. Ashley, we're not going to make you stand up. But we all are here because we love and appreciate how important music is. And then, how many of you ever had or sung happy birthday to your students at some time or other? Okay, so we're all going to sing happy birthday right now. It's going to warm up for Ashley.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ashley.
How do we do this? Happy birthday to you.
All right.
Very good.
Very nice, Ashley. Okay, nobody's clapping. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How old are you today, if you don't mind saying?
24.
24. Wow.
On March 24th. And you share a birthday. It's magical that you all got here. You share a birthday with Harry Houdini. You share, speaking of music and dance, you share a birthday with, thank you, Arthur Murray. And you share a birthday with Rufus King. Who knows who Rufus King is? Rufus King going once, Rufus King going twice. What was written in Philadelphia many years ago that has been amended a few times ever since? The U.S. Constitution. Rufus King was the framer of the U.S. Constitution, and today is his birthday, just like it's Ashley's.
Thank you very much, Professor.
You're welcome. That's why I'm a professor, because I know useless stuff and I communicate to people.
Thank you. And that's why we have three of us here, because we can cover all our bases. So first, I'd like you all, if you can, I know that some of you have laptops and other things on your lap, but if you could all stand. First, I'd like to ask those of you who have ever played an instrument or are still playing an instrument, to please sit down. Those of you who are still standing, did you ever sing? And singing in maybe a
Fourth grade chorus doesn't count.
Oh, fourth grade chorus doesn't
No.
count? Okay.
Fifth grade maybe.
All right. So, in any way of singing, no? Yeah, professional or just
No singing, no instrument. Singing?
I'm like, I'm the only one standing. I have
That's
nothing.
fine. Because we had an instrument, and if anybody's sang, and your music adventure
Your music
starts today,
adventure
please
starts
come on
today!
down. Another one. You got all three already? So you already knew. You knew that your music adventure started today.
And I teach kindergartners, so.
Excellent. You should take some extra extras. We have extras for your kindergarten class.
I'll be happy to take them.
All right. And that will be you someday.
That was me last night after all this.
So here, let's get started on our 10 ways. So the first thing that we're going to do, Dad, if you could please, and drum roll. Everybody knows how to do drum roll on the left. On the chair, on your knees. Drum roll, please. Thank you. The first portion that we're going to cover is transitions. So whenever you're, yes, please get it set up in this awkward transition.
He was faster when he was younger.
Yes. For transitions, we would like to use the famous Smoke on the Water tune by Senor Coconut. No, not really. It's by Deep Purple. So if you ever hear, thank you very much, Dad. If you ever hear that riff, that's when we're going to, if we ever have you guys, which we will a few times, take a break, and then you'll be doing a think, pair, share kind of thing, talking to each other about what we're talking about, and then you'll hear that sound, that riff, and until we're wrapping up and bringing it back to the center stage here and moving on with the presentation. So keep that in mind. That will be our transition, and you can use those kinds of auditory cues within your classroom. Kind of like Pavlov's dog, doing it between subjects. What?
I just did.
All right. Between subjects, like say going from math to science, using a song, giving your kids a certain amount of time to transition. Like, oh, I heard Smoke on the Water, so I have to put away my math book and then go take out my science book now. Or between stations. So say you have centers in your classroom, you might have maybe even chimes. It doesn't even have to be a song, but an auditory cue for your students, and they get used to that, and it's an automatic response to go right into the next thing.
If you're switching stations, I recommend Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Chattanooga Choo Choo. I also like Nana Hey Hey Kissin' Goodbye by Steam as well. Na 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 na. That's right. So our second one is memorization. And we're going to play a little bit of a game right now. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the old TV show Name That Tune. It was before my time, but I know it. So we're going to play a song first with a certain amount of notes, and we want you all to guess what it is. And then we're going to go a second round, have fewer notes for you guys to guess what it is. And then the last one that we'll do will only be 3 notes. And we expect that most of you will know it. And maybe you could prove us wrong by everybody shaking their head. No, I don't think I know that. So, first one.
How many notes?
10. Oh, 10. Yeah, we can do 10. Just go with it. Anybody? Stairway to Heaven. Thank you very much. Very good. Give yourself a hand. Okay. Let's move on and let's cut it down to 5 notes.
Okay.
5 notes.
La 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 la.
Star Wars, thank you very much. Please, another round of applause for yourselves. We're moving on to the 3rd round. Get excited about it. Come on.
3rd round! I can name that tune in 3 notes.
All right. Name that tune in 3 notes. NBC, well done. Wow. So you've all been able to commit to memory. Only 3 notes in succession, and you know exactly what that is. That's how deeply entrenched in our memory music is. And specifically in our limbic system, which Eric Jensen's brain research, brain-based learning, he will be presenting tomorrow morning. And I suggest you all go see him. He's actually, most of my research was done off of a lot of Eric Jensen's stuff. He talks about the limbic system and how where our emotions are, and as well as our memory are within the limbic system. And I couldn't remember.
He was just modeling that. No, he was modeling loss of memory. He practiced it last night. That's just showing what memory loss looks like.
Yes, and
He's
so
modelizing it for real. But he was just pretending.
Right. Anyway, when people are listening to music, a lot of the neurons in the brain fire around the limbic system, which is very closely tied to our memory and emotions. And that's why we have such an emotional connection to so many different songs that we experience, and as well as remembering three-note tunes, just chimes, really, and we know exactly what that is. So let's move on to piggyback songs, which are also another memorization tool, where we have, say, learning the days of the week. 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 There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week. Very nice. Very nice. So we have, we use familiar tunes to help us remember concepts that we need to have with us all the way throughout our educational or academic careers. So, for instance, the alphabet song being set to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And I hope everybody here knows the alphabet song.
I can name that alphabet in 3 letters.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S,
T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you say it for me? I know a lot of people say different words in the end. But we all have those 26 letters down in our brain, don't we, because of that song? Yes, and we've learned that before, some of us, before kindergarten, definitely. And so that was piggyback songs.